Massive drama and controversy in Gran Turismo 7. This has blown up over the internet. You've asked me for my opinion, so in this video I'm going to give you my honest opinion on this Gran Turismo 7 copying videos controversy that's going on. I have a very unique perspective because if you search I tried to qualify for the Singapore Olympics Gran Turismo 7, these are the 4 top videos that come up. 2 from Super GT, 1 from Rory and 1 from me. So I have quite a unique perspective on this because I'm kind of involved even though I don't really want to be. But by the end of this video you're going to understand from a content creator who's creating this sort of content at this sort of level what's going on here, and definitely what my view is, but maybe also what's going on behind the scenes. So it's going to be a controversial video. I know Rory, I know Super GT, Steve Brown, they are 2 of the very best Gran Turismo 7 content creators you could possibly hope for. Amazing people doing just some of the best content in sim racing, I think, and I don't think there's any beef or bad blood between them, but I want to give you my honest opinion because you've asked me for it, and I guess I'm kind of involved in this, as you can see on the page. So this whole thing centers around the Gran Turismo 7 Olympics time trial. Now from a content creator perspective, this is a great opportunity for content. All the content creators knew it. You've got your usual Gran Turismo 7 world, and then you add in the Olympics, all of that sort of keyword and SEO optimization, and then you have the opportunity to create videos that are going to be more watched than the usual Gran Turismo 7 video. And I remember watching Super GT's video, I think 2 years ago in Gran Turismo Sport, where he did this incredible video documenting his effort in the Olympic time trial that was at Tokyo Expressway, trying to get the fastest possible time, dealing with the like insane track limits. He would take the video was an unusual video because he recorded it over I think a couple of days and would take a break and come back, and it was something that I just watched from start to finish, and it was a very powerful video for me actually to appreciate. I think at the time I remember saying in the Discord like, wow, the production qualities on this video are absolutely insane, it's like a new level. So that was an incredible video and completely deserved 1.3 million views, which is a huge amount of views, and views that any content creator I think in the world would probably be happy with. It's a great video. And then what happened, so the drama now in the present day is yesterday I think, or 2 days ago, I think yesterday maybe, Rory released his video which is titled I tried to qualify for the Singapore Olympics Gran Turismo 7. Now this is blown up on the internet because Mikel Hazal, who is basically the fastest Gran Turismo 7 driver in the world, posted that side by side with Super GT's video from 2 years ago saying, Now this is where this video is going to get really interesting. And by the way, if I want to know what your thoughts are, do you think this is copying or not copying? Do you think it's okay, not okay? Let us know in the comments, because I'm kind of until I dive into the comments, I'm coming at this from like a content creator perspective, so I want to understand both sides. Now from my perspective, the story of documenting your attempt in the Gran Turismo 7 Olympic time trial, there's only so many ways you can tell that story. Fundamentally, you can have amazing production values and go a level beyond in doing it over several days, but the fundamental story is going to be one of, I have this challenge that I want to do, we're going to see how I do on the challenge, and then there's going to be a finishing point where that's the final result. And that boils down to trying to qualify for the Olympics. There's not too many ways you can dress that. In the same way that a lot of streams for Gran Turismo 7 will say Gran Turismo 7 live at Daily Race B or Daily Race C. There's not so many ways you can dress it up. And when you look at the thumbnail, there's only so many elements you can have in a thumbnail about a Gran Turismo 7 Olympic time trial. You're going to have the car, you're going to have the track, and you're going to have the Olympic logos. And I found this out because when I did my video, which you can see I did 11 days ago, and by the way, the reason why I haven't made a video about my attempts for Olympic time trial is twofold. Firstly, I didn't want to do it because I actually have some reservations about how they organised this, which I spoke about in that video. And secondly, I think I made that video and a couple of other videos literally 1 hour before I had to leave here and drive to Spa for the World Endurance Championship that I was making videos out there. So I actually wasn't able to really have the time to enter. But if I was going to do that, or let's just use the example that I did, I have this is before Rory's, I have the car, I have the track, and I have the Olympic logos, and I have my stupid expression face. No one actually looks like that in real life, but for some reason the thumbnails perform much better, so that's why I do it. But you can see there's only so many elements, so when you break it down like that, there's only so many ways you can do the title, and there's only so many ways you can do the pictures, and the picture I don't even think is that similar to Super GT's one. You could, you know, he's got the front of the car versus the back. Super GT's got a nice thing where the Olympic rings are like in the tunnel. He also has the effect that he uses in a lot of videos to like mimic the speed, and Rory's adding an arrow. So I think the picture actually quite different. The title is very similar, and this is not legal advice or anything, but I don't think there's any copyright in a title. I think it's too short to have any copyright. So on that pure like comparison between those two videos, I actually think from a content creator's perspective that what Rory has done is probably identified the concept and tried to do his own version of the concept. Now the issue becomes complicated because then I think a few hours later Super GT releases his video for the Olympic time trial this year, that is, I tried to qualify for the Olympics in Gran Turismo 7, that now starts to look very similar, because now they have the same car, the Olympic logo sort of behind the car. It looks like Rory hasn't mastered the car, but Super GT has mastered the car, so slightly different. Super GT again has gone for this contrast of the Olympic rings on the exit of like a black dark tunnel, which is interesting, something that I would think about. Something I didn't know, by the way, is that the font is also different. Rory has his distinctive black and white font. Super GT has his distinctive, very vertically long yellow font. And this is again where like the comparisons began to be made. Now, so my opinion on that, having not asked Rory or Super GT any of the background on it, on not understanding it, I would say there's a concept here about trying to qualify for an Olympic time trial that has been proven to do very well, and therefore different creators are trying to do that. There's probably other creators that have done a similar thing. This just kind of is more charged because it's right at the top and these are the videos getting the most views. And I can tell you that as someone on the inside, because if you look at my video, I've kind of done a similar concept. So I'm speaking too much, I'm getting a little bit of a tickly throat. Now, you can see here, this is where it gets really controversial. This is what is specifically blown up on the internet, because this is a series of comparisons between I want to get this very specific, between Super GT's titles and thumbnails and Rory's titles and thumbnails. These are not comparisons of the videos, the underlying videos. It's just titles and thumbnails. The videos may be very different. In fact, if you look at the bottom one, Forza and Gran Turismo Sport, they're definitely going to be different videos, but the concepts are probably quite similar. So if we go step by step, and I'll let you know my opinion, and please in the comments let us know your opinion, because you're the viewers, you're the people that watch all of our videos, and I think we deserve to hear from you, and we should listen to you and understand what you think is right and what you think is wrong. Look at the top one, the Rallycross one. You can see some of these videos, by the way. Oh no, this isn't my screenshot, but I probably watched a couple of these videos, but I can't remember exactly. The top one is probably just a race, maybe I think there was a manufacturer's race, or maybe the first week they launched the Catalonia Rallycross circuit, and it's just a race, and whatever happens in the race happens in the race. And this is something that I think content creators come from a very different angle when it comes to titles and thumbnails, because that race is probably, let's just say, Daily Race A, and you could just say the video title could be Gran Turismo 7 Daily Race A. No one's going to watch that video. That is a boring title, and the thumbnail could be Daily Race A. A boring thumbnail. So you have to dress it up, and you can see that there's the common theme here of it being hilarious. It is kind of funny. I think, by the way, I want to say the difference between these screenshots here is I think this shows a pattern of behavior. So you can look at things like on a individual basis, one-on-one, but then when you start to see a pattern that's slightly different. But let's at the moment look at the individual. That's a concept of, and obviously you're going to have a couple of cars in the video, and so I think that one is kind of, you can see the concept is a concept that you can only dress up so many ways, and that's why they end up being similar. The second one, I can guarantee you I've not tried to copy those videos, and I can guarantee you that I've probably done a video that's Gran Turismo 7 in torrential rain. You can search on my channel. it's just one of these things. How many ways can you describe wet weather? Gran Turismo 7, I think I've talked about monsoon, torrential conditions, stormy conditions. There's only so many ways. So this one, I think, again, is just a, the concept. There's only so many ways you can dress it, and I don't think the concept itself is not really something that's protectable. Going on to the third one, 200 IQ race strategy. I think these are interesting. This is really interesting, aren't they? Is 200 IQ like a specific turn of phrase? Maybe, because I think isn't the clever IQ is like 150 or something. I don't know. So like if you wouldn't say 300 IQ, that would be too high, and you wouldn't say 100 because that wouldn't be high at all. No offense to anyone with 100 IQ, if that's how it works. So maybe 200 IQ is like a term of art, and if so, then these ones actually you can see again that there's only so many ways you can do this concept, and the concept itself is not something that's protectable. The last one, I've always been interested in this one actually. I don't think I've ever done a video called Shameful Rammers, but let me know if I have. I think I feel a little bit different about this one. The term shameful ramming, I feel like is a very Super GT turn of phrase. Super GT has made some very popular videos about shameful ramming, and that one I don't think is like 200 IQ. It's just a general thing. I feel like the shameful ramming is something that, but I might be wrong, but shameful ramming is not something that you hear in everyday conversation. I think that was something that Super GT put together, and is almost like his, I'm not going to say the word trademark because that's exactly not what it is, but it's sort of his turn of phrase. So you can see here that maybe shameful, but Rory doesn't even say shameful ramming. He says shameful revenge. So, but then when you look at the pattern of videos, now I've deconstructed like that, do you think there's anything to it or not? I think it's a real difficult one, isn't it? And as someone that's personally, I've had people on YouTube actually just copy my thumbnail and just download my thumbnail and use it on their videos, which I probably need to start doing some takedowns on that. But it's when you create something as a creator, you have conceived something, spend a lot of time. I can't tell you how much time people have spent on these thumbnails. If you look at the basic non-drivable one, I know that Steve will have spent quite a bit of time getting that picture just right. He puts in the software and will overlay the text and everything, but he spent a lot of time and effort in sort of constructing that. So when you see someone you feel is copying it, it can be quite uncomfortable. But again, these are just my honest thoughts. This is just a one-take video, so my thoughts might not be your thoughts, but let me know what your thoughts are. So do I think there's anything wrong here? It's a tough one. I think if you're Super GT, I think you can feel perfectly entitled to say, hang on, there's like a pattern of behaviour here, of videos that are quite similar to my videos, and I think ironically the title for the Olympic time trial one has really brought it to the fore, because it's basically the same title, but there's only so many ways you can dress up that title. Now my channel, by the way, my channel is just a mess. If you go to my channel and look at the videos, it's just I do stuff that no one else even thinks of doing, and no one else could even try and copy. I go off to real world events and interview people. I talk about random stuff. My thumbnails are just like absolutely insane. So I come from a very different creative place, I think. I always want to do something new. My instinct is to do something new. When I try and do something that's a bit more data driven, the content doesn't perform as well. It's not as authentic. When I just do what I want to do, like this video, I'd be surprised if this video performs poorly, because this is me being very authentic, talking about something that I want to talk about and that I know you're going to be interested in. Not, oh, there was a video before talking about this, I want to do it. So different ways of approaching it, but I need to give you my actual opinion here. Okay, let me put myself in Super GT shoes. If I'm in Super GT shoes and I see this pattern of behaviour, I might have a word and say, hey, your thing is, your titles and thumbs are getting a little bit close. Do you want to have a chat about that or something? I don't know what I'd want to achieve though. It's difficult. And if I'm in Rory's shoes, I'd be like, well, I'm not copying the expression. I'm just taking a concept that has been proved to be a good concept, and I'm doing my own spin on it, which surely everyone must be entitled to do. So this is actually way more complicated than I thought it was going to be. There's only so many ways to skin a cat. So I think broadly this is fine, but it's that's my view. Let me know if you disagree. I think both people could be entitled to feeling hard done by. I think Rory can probably feel entitled to being hard done by that this has blown up so much on the internet, and I think Super GT could feel hard done by that. There seems to be a pattern of behaviour of lots of videos sort of getting very close, but that's just, oh yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to end this video here. Let me know what you think in the comments. Check out some of my random videos if you want to see something very different to this. But yeah, I'm interested to know what you say, and I'll see you next time.